Boxing fans, we just got our hands on something unbelievable. Leaked footage of Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Tank Davis going at it in a private sparring session. For years, rumors have swirled about what really happened behind closed doors. Some say Floyd schooled Tank like a true master, while others claim Tank held his own and even stunned his mentor. Now, with this footage finally emerging, everything we thought we knew is about to change. From brutal exchanges to intense moments, we're breaking down every second of this unseen showdown. Plus, we'll explore how this sparring session may have fueled their infamous fallout, and whether Floyd still sees Tank as boxing's future. But before we dive in, let's rewind. Floyd and Tank weren't always at odds. In fact, Floyd was one of the first to recognize Tank's potential. Back then, Tank was just a hungry kid from Baltimore with knockout power and a dream. Floyd took him under his wing, signed him to Mayweather Promotions, and helped build him into the next boxing superstar. Now let's break it all down.
Would not be where he is.
He's attached to Floyd Mayweather's name and his skill and so forth and so on.
And all his resources.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
Yes.
His resources come with him.
And do you think Floyd's a little like, hey, listen, I helped build your career, and you're going to...
For a while, it was all love. Floyd was the mentor, Tank was the student, and the future seemed destined for greatness. But here's the thing. Tank isn't one to be controlled. As his fame grew, so did his ego. He wanted to do things his way, while Floyd, a mastermind of discipline and precision, built his legacy on control.
I remember first hearing an issue between Floyd and Gervonta before Gervonta fought Pedraza. And the issue I heard was that Floyd didn't want Gervonta to stay in Baltimore because he felt there was too many distractions for him in Baltimore and he wanted to stay in Vegas. And the story I was told at that time was that Floyd gave Gervonta one of his penthouses or one of his apartments in the Palms Hotel, and he said, "This is your apartment. I'll furnish it for you." He got him a Jeep. At the time, Gervonta was not a world champion. He got him like a Jeep, a 4x4. You know, he basically said, "I'll make it comfortable for you. I don't want you to go to Baltimore. I want you to stay here. I don't think Baltimore is the place for you," you know? And what I was told was Gervonta sold all the furniture, sold the Jeep, and went back to Baltimore and bought a Benz. You know, with that's what I was. For real? That's what I was told.
The tension became obvious. Floyd criticized Tank's training, weight, and personal choices, while Tank fired back in interviews, claiming he didn't need Floyd anymore. Their once tight bond started to unravel. But their biggest fallout didn't happen in the press. It happened in the gym. And this leaked sparring footage might prove it. The clip begins with both men in their stances. Floyd, cool and calculated. Tank, bouncing on his feet, locked in. There's respect, but also undeniable tension. Floyd starts slow, testing Tank's movement with that legendary jab, gliding around like a chess master. Tank stays patient, reading Floyd, waiting for his moment.
Not be where he is.
He's attached to Floyd Mayweather's name and his skill and so forth and so on.
And all his resources.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
Yes.
His resources come with him.
And do you think Floyd's a little like, hey, listen, I helped build your career, and you're going to walk?
Then, Tank fires a wild left hand that barely misses Floyd's chin. The gym erupts. Floyd smirks, nodding as if to say, "Okay, kid, you want to go there?" And that's when things get real. This is where you see the difference between a legend and a rising star. Floyd turns up the heat, slipping punches, countering with surgical precision, and tagging Tank just enough to remind him who's in charge. To his credit, Tank fights back, landing body shots to slow Floyd down. But Mayweather's defense is on another level. It's like trying to hit a ghost. Every time Tank throws, Floyd is already gone.
What do we do? You bury them, pull them down, pull them down, pull them down.
This is where things get wild. Tank grows frustrated as Floyd dodges punches, talks trash, and makes him miss badly. Then Tank snaps. He starts swinging for the fences, throwing haymakers, desperate to land that one shot to humble Floyd. But Floyd is too slick. He dodges, counters, and even laughs at some of Tank's wild swings. Then, game over. Floyd lands a perfect counter right hand. It doesn't drop Tank, but it stuns him for a split second. The gym erupts. Floyd steps back, smirking, the kind of smirk that reminds everyone why he's undefeated. Tank shakes it off, but you can see the frustration in his eyes.
He ain't told Kevin nothing like that. Keep boxing, baby. Keep boxing. Keep boxing. Keep boxing. Well,
This wasn't just sparring anymore, it was a war. After this session, Floyd and Tank's relationship was never the same.
I had to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights,
Yes, you did.
who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
The greatest of all.
The fallout between Tank and Floyd wasn't just about clashing egos, it ran much deeper. At the heart of it was Calvin Ford, Tank's longtime trainer and father figure. For those who don't know, Calvin has been there since day one, shaping Tank from a scrappy kid in Baltimore into a boxing phenom.
Has the time come, gotta ask you this, has the time come for Tank Davis to take control of his own career and leave Mayweather Promotions?
It don't necessarily have to be leave Mayweather Promotions. It's about just becoming that man, handle your own responsibility, your own priorities. So I feel as though it's my career, so I feel as though I need to be the one to control my career. You know what I mean? So, and it's time. You know what I mean? Everybody don't need to, have them training wheels on them forever. You know what I mean? It's time to, ride their own bike. Whatever.
Let's be real, Floyd and Calvin never truly saw eye to eye. Floyd reportedly felt Calvin was holding Tank back, while Calvin saw Floyd as too controlling. Tank was caught in the middle. At first, he idolized Floyd, but Calvin was the one who had been there through the struggles.
Another thing I want to touch on is the Floyd situation. Floyd is Floyd. That's like I say, Tank is Tank, man. But at the end of the day, the man is chasing greatness. And you should be supporting that. I always tell you that. You should be supporting that, It's a rocky road that we see what's going on. Just pay attention, man. The story is going to rebuild itself. But again, that's how you burn bridges. Somebody said, let's say the true colors of a person that's coming out, man. They can't stand it, calm is it. I don't like using that word calm, but our Lord knows. He knows. He knows.
As Tank's star power grew, Floyd kept trying to steer the ship, making business moves Tank didn't always agree with. Those cryptic tweets Tank sent at Floyd, they weren't random, they were built-up frustration from feeling micromanaged. And Calvin, he made it clear he was with Tank all the way.
Let me explain something to you. Tank don't look at me as coach, he look at me as dad. Do it look like his son supposed to be taking your dad? I don't even feel right. Y'all hear this time. Tank don't pay his coach. Tank gives me anything I want.
Right.
But I'm a man at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And I'm a hustler.
Right.
Second and foremost, I came from that club. You understand? He watched me lose my house, my wife, my family. He watched me do it. It's bigger than boxing.
Right.
Boxing.
This power struggle drove a wedge between them, and eventually, Tank had enough. He chose loyalty to Calvin over the glitz and glamour of Mayweather Promotions, breaking away from Floyd for good.
When Floyd left Bob Arum, it's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not going to elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just going to say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth. And I think it will serve him best to go and be